Alright, so here we go. I'm doing this voice challenge for you guys. Number one, I believe, was to read a poem. It was to recite a poem, but the only poems I've memorized are from 5th grade by Robert Frost. No thanks. I mean, they're okay, but whatever. So I have this lovely English romantic poetry book that I got from the school library because they're giving it away. So they have the setup really weird, but the author is way back. I'm not gonna find the author. Okay, but it's called Human Life on the Denial of Immortality. If dead, we cease to be. If total gloom swallow up life's brief flash for eye, we fare as summer gusts of sudden birth and doom, whose sound and motion not alone declare, but are their whole of being. But if the breath be life itself, not its task intent, if even a soul like Milton's can know death, O man, thou vessel purposeless, unmeant, yet drove high in strange of phantom purposes, surplus of nature's dread activity, which, as she gazed on some nigh-finished vase, retreating slow, with meditative pause, she formed with restless hands unconsciously. Blank accident, nothing's anomaly. If rootless thus, the substanceless they state, go, weigh thy dreams, and be thy hopes thy fears, the counterweights. Thy laughter and thy fears mean but themselves, each fittest to create and to repay the other. Why rejoices thy heart with hollow joy for hollow good? Why cowl thy face beneath the mourner's hood? Why waste thy sighs? Why waste thy sighs, and thy lamenting voices, image of image, ghost of ghostly elf, that such a thing as thou feel'st warm of cold? Yet what and whence thy gain, if thou withhold these costless shadows of thy shadowy self? Be sad, be glad, be neither, seek or shun. Thou hast no reason why, thou canst have none. Thy being's being is contradiction. So, that was that. I messed up a couple times, obviously. I kind of suck at reading aloud, better at reading silently. Number two, I just wrote down like a note to myself, 1 through 5. I'm trying to do in the right order, but I think it was to read the first page of one of your favorite books. I was originally going to do Hitchhiker's Guide, but I don't have Hitchhiker's Guide with me. I don't know where it went. It's probably at my dad's house. So instead I'm reading Abarat. This is the nice cover. You can turn it upside down, and it still says Abarat. I like it. And I don't know. It's a really surreal book, and I would definitely recommend reading it. It's very surreal and fantasy-like, but it has some really cool stuff in there. So the first page goes like this. The storm came up out of the southwest like a fiend, stalking its prey on legs of lightning. The wind it brought with it was foul as the devil's own breath, and it stirred up the peaceful waters of the sea. By the time the little red boat that the 3 women had chosen for their perilous voyage had emerged from the shelter of the islands and was out in the open waters, the waves were as steep as cliffs, 25-30 feet tall. Somebody sent this storm, said Jophie, who was doing her best to steer the boat, which was called the Lyre. The sail shook like a leaf in the tempest, swinging back and forth wildly, nearly impossible to hold down. I swear, Diamanda, this is no natural storm. Diamanda, the oldest of the 3 women, sat in the corner of the tiny vessel, with her dark blue robes gathered around her, and their precious cargo pressed into her bosom. Let's not get hysterical, she told Jophie and Mespa. She wiped a long piece of white hair out of her eyes. Nobody saw us leave the Palace of Bowers. We escaped unseen, I'm certain of it. So why this storm, said Mespa, who was a black woman, renowned for her resilience, but who now looked close to being washed away by the rain beating down on the women's heads. Why are you so surprised that the heavens complained, Diamanda said. Didn't we know the world would be turned upside down by what just happened? Jophie fought with the sail, cursing it. Indeed, isn't this the way it should be? Diamanda went on. That's the end of the first page. Number 3 was to read the blurb on the back of my shampoo bottle. There's kind of a lot, so I'm just going to read the first paragraph. See, all this talking is making me mess up. I'm super bad at talking. Like, one time in English, we had to proofread our papers by reading them aloud for 15 minutes, and by the end, my voice was so sore that I was, like, crying. So, like, you can see why this is a hard challenge for me. Anyway, so, Nature's Gate hemp shampoo gently cleanses hair and helps maintain natural moisture balance. Hair is nurtured with essential fatty acids from hemp seed oil and our unique blend of 7 healthy hair nutrients, taming frizz and flyaways. The renewing properties of milk thistle, elderflower, and allspice leave hair silky, soft, and smooth. Number 4 was a tongue twister. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Boat a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. I think that's how it goes. I don't know. Number 5 is to read something in another language, and I am taking French, and I have pretty good pronunciation, but it's not the best. So I have this whole packet to read from. I'm just gonna do one sentence if you guys don't mind. Ils ne sont pas arrivés à la maison pour dîner en famille, which means they didn't arrive at the house for dinner with their family. Number 13, something that makes me happy. Music. Performing music. I performed in a concert the other night, and I could talk about that. I had stupid wind. I had a few solos, and apparently afterwards, I play clarinet, by the way, in case you didn't know that. So a couple people came up to me afterwards, and they were like, "You did such a nice job. It was so nice to hear you, floating above the orchestra on your solos." And I don't know. Apparently it was good, so that's a good thing. But even more than that, that encouraged me a lot. But I just love listening to music and seeing the colors of it, because it's not the strongest thing for me, but I do have synesthesia where you can see music. So I have to try for it sometimes, but other times I don't have to try as much. It's weird. So sometimes I'll be listening to music, and there will be this field that comes, and it's there one instrument will be the grass and the other instrument will be the blue of the sky. Or I've heard people talk about how music sounds how feelings feel, so it's not really the music is describing the visual entity of the field, but it's more the feeling of being in a field. And I also agree with that. It kind of depends on the time, really. But I think it's really interesting how people interpret music differently, and they have totally different meanings of it, and I just think that's super cool.